How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to be talking about units that I want for New Year's that would be potentially cool in my opinion. Again, opinion based, definitely could be different from what you guys would want, and I hope that they do something for New Year's, to say the least. Just anyway, like, regardless if it's something that I want or if it's an unpopular opinion, like I'm fine with getting anything, honestly, as long as it's just something for New Year's. But at this point, I'm not sure if that's the case, but I want to be hopeful, so we'll hopefully wait and see around that time. So for a lot of new players, a lot of us old players already know what the New Year's kind of festival is, and it's something to look forward to, especially right after anniversary. A lot of people start saving up for it. I already need to if I actually wanted a chance at summoning for something like that, so we'll wait and see though, because it's a hit or miss. But for those of you who are new players, you don't know, that is one of the event periods during the year for Naruto Blazing when you actually get some really cool and good units. In the past, before, we've always gotten dual Blazing Fests for New Year's, except for I think back in like 2017, I believe so. But ever since then, we usually get a double Blazing Fest for New Year's. So I'll go ahead and show you guys all the ones that we have gotten so far, at least the double Blazing Fest ones, like I said, and those are worth note talking because, like I said, that time has always been hype. I've actually always preferred the New Year's one over a lot of the other ones, if I'm being real with you. Golden Week is a hype time, but this year for Golden Week, we actually did not get a dual Blazing Fest, but they did end up dropping the first ever 7-star right after we got Jubito, so that was a little bit different. But we can go ahead and talk about the units that we've gotten so far. Now, between anniversary and kind of Golden Week and all of that, New Year's falls right into the middle of things, and like I said, I'm usually hyped when it comes to those type of units, but personally I think the best New Year's that we had was back in 2018, and that's where we're going to start. Back in the end of 2018, this is when I started making blazing videos on my channel, and one of the first banners that I summoned on at that time was the dual Blazing Fest for New Year's, and in this case it was Hashirama when he was reanimated during the 4th Great Ninja War, and the Sage's 6 Pest dual Renegon Madara, which was really hype. Like, I still think these are some of the most hype Blazing Fest units that we got for New Year's, in my opinion. Definitely the most hype. That was my favorite New Year's. It was a really good time for me to just make blazing videos and things of that nature. That's why I jumped in at that time. Like, the game was pretty hype in my opinion, even though second anniversary was kind of a hit or miss for a lot of people because of no step ups and things of that nature. Man, was New Year's great though, and I personally did not go for Hashirama, I went for Madara. Dual Renegon Madara was such an amazing unit. Still to this day he is when it comes to skill, but there's not a lot of nuking capability, but that's not what he's meant for, man. Like, just the fact that he has dodges for days, he gets a lot of health back, still one of the best, if only really good healers for skill typing. Even for PvP, I said this a lot, you guys know Dual Renegon Madara if you've been playing for a while. Back when I first summoned on this guy, oh, it was such a great video. Like, I felt the passion in that video, man. I'll go ahead and put it at the top if you guys want to watch it, but it was a really good video. It was a long time ago, almost 2 years ago at this point, but it was really good, and that was definitely the best New Year's that I had. I definitely love these two units, and they were really amazing. Even to this day, they're gods for PvE, but Hashirama, more or less, I didn't go for too much over the actual Madara here. So that was that New Year's, and oh man, did I love it for sure. And I think for the actual Blazing Bash, I don't think we had a Blazing Bash for New Year's, because at that time I am pretty safe in saying that they were adding the Ultimate Ninja Showdown. So when they did give it to us back at like February, we got Obito and Madara right there, but that takes care of that Blazing Fest, which was really hype, man. Now we come to last New Year's, which was kind of a really down point for Blazing. A lot of people were upset with Blazing. That was right before they started implementing a lot of things again, and that's definitely when Blazing was kind of down, but not as down as it is now, that's for sure. And what we got last year was the Sasuke from the fight with Danzo here, the Mangekyo Sharingan Sasuke, which I thought was a really cool unit. I love his 5-star art more than probably his 6-star, but 6-star is beautiful, man. You got Itachi, you got Danzo, and I love that fight. Itachi versus Danzo, even the Super Impact was amazing. I definitely thought that this was cool, but very underwhelming when you consider what we had a year before that. And just in general, he's a pretty cool body type unit, don't get me wrong, but he could be a lot better. Like, if I'm being honest with you, I never really got much use out of him. I never did, even on a body team for that matter. But also Itachi is really cool. I got him a lot later on, but he's a really good nuker for heart. But if you've been playing Blazing, or if you don't live under a rock, you know that there's plenty of other units. Like, I would never use this man to actually nuke, because I have so many better units. Final Valley Naruto, just Kakashi, everybody. Even One Tail Naruto that we just got could probably do more than this dude if you place him right. But definitely really cool artwork, and definitely a great idea. Now, again, the reason that we got Dual Blazing Fest though for both of those years is because we had super impacts. Super impacts aren't really a thing anymore, so does that mean we would even get one in the first place? Well, I don't really think if we got a dual units for this New Year's, I don't think that it would be a Blazing Fest. I feel like it would be 7 stars. I think that, and that's because we got 7 stars for anniversary rather than a Blazing Fest. So with that said, I don't think it's going to be what we're used to. I don't think there will be a super impact. I think it's going to be a banner with 2 7 stars, 2 separate banners, with 7 stars similarly to what we had at anniversary time, which is kind of but at the same time, the potential could be there. So let's go ahead and talk about the units that I would want for it now that we got that part out of the way. So when it comes to actually getting a unit that I would want, I personally think that there are 2 units that are long overdue, and I've talked about this in other videos. I want a Naruto and Sasuke, of course, Naruto and Sasuke, but it needs to be end of Shippuden Naruto and Sasuke. Now, we just got a Shinden Naruto for Blazing Bash, and we haven't had a Shinden Naruto. Like, an end of Shippuden Naruto like this would be amazing, and Sasuke too. These units are very old, and they definitely need their due love. I would love to get newer versions of them, unless they ever just made these 7-star Blazing Fests. I mean, I'm down for that too, but they haven't done that. The only one that ever got that was Kakashi, and I'm starting to think that they're not going to do that anymore. So I would personally love to go ahead and get just a newer version of those units, man. I think that it would be so good to go ahead and get that. And if not that, then there's 2 units also that are definitely missing out, and I'm talking about Hamada and Hagoromo. Now, would it be amazing to get a 7-star Hagoromo and Hamada? I think so. You can't really do that much more. Like, we already have Madara and Hashirama before, so I don't think they should give us that, but they could still go back to the original lineage and give us Hamada and Hagoromo, because we don't really have still great PvE versions of those units. To this day, we still do not. Last time we got a Hagoromo was, I believe, a super impact unit, so yeah, we could definitely get that. Now, if there was a super impact, I would love to go against Kaguya. That would be great, but I don't think they're gonna do that. 7 stars of these units though would be pretty amazing. I feel like Hagoromo and Hamada would be a better option than Ashura and Indra, just because we don't have any version of them. So I would like to get that. That would be pretty cool in my opinion. So I'm definitely shooting pretty high here, but at this point I feel like for New Year's it would be cool. I really don't want a repeat of what we had last year, because even though Itachi and Sasuke are cool, I think we need something bigger than that, because like I miss the days when Blazing Banners were like insanely hype, man. Like Dual Rinnegan, Madara, and Hashirama, there hasn't been hype for that in a while, I feel like, in my opinion. Like, I haven't seen amazing units like that and just been like, oh, let me get that. Like, I need that. Like, it's been a while, except for like anniversary periods and things of that nature, or 7 stars. But yeah, this is just really what I would want. I know that a lot of people aren't that big a fan of Hagoromo and Hamada, and trust me, I'm not as well. Like, when it comes to lore wise, I'm not a huge fan of all that at the end of Shippuden, but I do definitely want something like that. I think it would be cool. But even a Shinden Naruto and Sasuke, if there was a super impact again, Toneri would be a very good option. But again, that's from the last, so I'm not so sure if they would be able to do that. But yeah, that's just my options. I just really hope New Year's will come through for us, guys, because it's pretty much the last celebration before 2020 is over with, and we'll just have to see. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Let me know what units you guys want to see. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.